At Manhattan University, a graduate degree is not out of reach. You'll gain real-world skills, credentials employers value, and connections to New York City's top companies. Choose from their new Master of Science degrees in Healthcare Informatics, Digital Marketing and Analytics, Business Analytics, or Financial Analytics, all built around hands-on learning and industry partnerships. Graduate ready to lead, not just work. Take the next step at manhattan.edu/graduate. Manhattan University. Lead the future.
I know we've got Alex Trayman, jns.org, coming up next hour, and he's been on this show a lot, hundreds of times since October 9th of 2023. But my main man in Israel is Yehuda Honickman. You guys know that. He lives in Judea and Samaria, so he's right there. I figure two Israeli guests is good today with all that they're going through. We know people died in Tel Aviv on Saturday. People died in Jerusalem on Sunday as Iran continues to retaliate by sending ballistic missiles to Israel. So let's go to my dear friend Yehuda Honickman live right now in Israel. Yehuda, good Monday afternoon for you. Good morning from New York City.
Good morning, Sid. How are you?
I'm great. Now, we talked 2 seconds before we started this conversation, and you said to me, I just heard loud booms overhead. That's really been the case since Operation Epic Fury started on Saturday morning. How crazy has it been, Yehuda, for you and your family in terms of running in and out of bomb shelters and all the news of fatalities in your home country?
Well, Sid, as you said that, I just heard two massive booms in the distance as well. Thank God there's no red alert in my area right now, but in the areas around me, clearly there has been and there is right now, and that's where those booms are coming from. So, there has definitely been countless red alerts, middle of the night, middle of the day. There's no saying when it's going to happen. We've been in and out of the bomb shelter 2 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But the biggest pain that we're all feeling now is the casualties. Obviously, this is a war that had to happen, and unfortunately, when war happens, there are casualties. But it's difficult. It's definitely difficult feeling it, being a part of it. It's difficult for the kids. Very difficult for the kids.
I'm glad you mentioned that. You've got 5 children, and they're all young, very young. In fact, you guys just had a baby. Just maybe the baby's a year old, maybe not even that. So what do they say, Yehuda, when the bombs are going off? Look, I was in Sderot that morning with you and Justin when we intercepted a bomb, and it felt like the world was coming to an end. I can't imagine what a 5 or 6-year-old kid must feel like. What do your kids tell you even moments ago when you heard the latest boom, or are they just used to it at this point?
Yeah, my son just rolled into the room as you were speaking, Sid, and he said to me, Dad, was that a shockwave or shrapnel? So these are things that, kids should not have to be saying, but it's the reality here. And they ask because they want to know the difference, because they want to be safe. My daughter asked me before, do I have to run to the bomb shelter, or is that a siren that I'm hearing from the distance? So that's really the reality on the ground here. It's a really, really crazy thing. And obviously right now, tonight, tomorrow, we have the holiday of Purim coming up. It's usually a very, very festive time, costumes and big meals and, a lot of big parties and stuff like that. There's no idea if that's going to be happening. It might be happening in a much more muted sense than usual. We're still waiting for the updates from the government in terms of what we should be doing in that regard. I imagine that it's going to be much more muted so that people can be close to bomb shelters. But it's definitely a crazy time, and you feel it here. You feel it here.
Yeah. No, I was in Israel for Yom HaTzmaut. For folks that don't know what that is, that comes right after Yom HaZikaron, the very next day. They go from Memorial Day to Independence Day in Israel one day, and I was there this year in April when there were fires. It started with wildfires. Then the Arabs reportedly set more fires to those wildfires, and they had to call off a bunch of shows in Jerusalem, including your great cousin, Shlomo Katz. So I was already in Israel just a couple of months ago for one holiday being ruined. Now with Purim today, like you said, that could be another issue with the war going on. What about the airport, Yehuda? I know that I've got some friends that are stranded there. Thank God Ava ended up in London and she's home now. But Johnny Daniels said yesterday that you don't expect Ben Gurion to open up again until maybe Wednesday. What about flights going in and out of Tel Aviv?
Flights are closed. No one's coming in. No one's going out. I do know someone who is looking into potentially going to Egypt and getting out from Egypt. But, flights to and from Israel are currently closed. They're saying the airport may open again on Wednesday for limited flights. and obviously that's airline dependent as well. Airlines do not have to just because the airport is open. El Al is actively working, as far as I hear, to get people back to Israel that want to come back. You tell me one other country in the world where people are actively trying to get back mid-war. It usually doesn't happen, but there are apparently thousands and thousands of people that want to come back here, and El Al is actively working on that along with the government, along with Ben Gurion, and then the airport hopefully will resume, activities, some sort of a normal way whenever they can.
So, in closing this great conversation, and again, Yehuda, this is my friend Yehuda Honickman in Judea and Samaria. You call it the West Bank. We don't. I love this kid. I love him a lot, and you guys know how close we are. What is your message to folks in New York, not just Israelis, not just Jews, but Christian Zionists, people like my friend Sean Hannity will join this show later on. What is your message to those folks, and what's your message also on the way out to President Trump and your Prime Minister, Bibi Netanyahu?
I mean, first and foremost, to President Trump and Bibi Netanyahu, I mean, obviously, massive, massive thank you. This had to happen. It should have happened a long time ago. We have a history of U.S. presidents saying they're going to do something about this axis of evil and doing nothing. So, obviously, the thing out here is the 47th president knocking out the 47-year reign of the Islamic regime. It's a great thing that's happening, 47 to 47, and Trump has the balls to do it. But the message that I have to people is just keep praying. Keep praying that this goes the way that it's supposed to go with minimal casualties, please God, both to the Israeli side and to the Iranian people. We don't want to harm the Iranian people. We want to stop this regime and the way they've been acting for 47 years. So keep Israel in your prayers. Keep Iran in your prayers. Keep the other countries affected in your prayers. And hope that Trump and Bibi have the backing to go as far as this has to go to just finish this once and for all so that the world could be a much more peaceful place.
Chag Sameach, happy Purim. Again, I know it's going to be difficult to enjoy it the way you ordinarily would, Yehuda, but dress them up anyway at home, I mean, what do you go? You're Mordechai.
That's what we're going to do.
Are you Mordechai? Your beautiful wife is Esther. Anybody Haman in the house? No, not in your house, right?
Hell no.
I love it. All right, Yehuda, we're praying for you out there. Just be safe, and you know that I love you, and we all love you out there in Israel. So
love you too, brother. Thank you.
All right, we'll talk later. There he is, my dear friend Yehuda Honickman. His father, Stuart, and his mom, of course, live on Long Island. He'll be coming up for most of the summer, so we'll see Yehuda quite a bit in a couple of months. And his dad, Stuart, I'm sure is listening right now. Yehuda Honickman in Judea and Samaria. Quick break. We'll come back, talk to another Jewish guy. Happens to be the only man in Congress ever to wear a yarmulke. Out of the great state of Florida, Congressman Randy Bine is coming up next.
Rural Americans deserve access to the best of what our nation has to offer, especially health care. Across every state and every community, America's rural hospitals are the first line of defense, protecting our families, neighbors, and loved ones. No matter where you live, hospital care doesn't clock out. They're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Each year, America's over 5,000 hospitals care for millions of patients, providing 24/7 emergency care, delivering babies, cancer treatments, and other life-saving care that patients rely on. Behind every one of those patients are doctors, nurses, and caregivers working tirelessly to keep people healthy and safe. Hospitals are our community's lifelines. They employ our neighbors and keep our families healthy. But now, some in Congress are threatening access to care. Tell Congress, protect patient care to keep America strong. Don't cut rural health care.